Hi, Jim here. If your computer is infected with malware or viruses, or in most cases it's going to be more than one type, and to get rid of it, I suggest using a variety of tools. I have yet to find one program that does it all. That's why I use a combination of tools anytime I remove malware from the systems I work on. Now, what I've done is I've put together a toolkit of programs. I've just put them in a folder and numbered them in the order I use to remove malware. You can do the same thing. Now, you can do it yourself. Just go to my website, gurujim.com. There'll be instructions there, and also if you'd want to skip the hassle of making your own, you can also order one and download. Just one download, you'll be ready to start removing malware from your system. But I'm just going to run through here and show you how I'm remove malware from a system. Actually, I just start off with number one, and let's go ahead and let's just boot into safe mode. Safe mode's best. If you're able to get into safe mode, this is the best. It allows you to remove programs, malware, that might have installed and blocks any efforts at removing it when you're in normal Windows. Now here's a nifty little program, Boot Safe, that'll allow you to get into safe mode easily. Now you still know how to use the F8 key at boot time, because sometimes you might not be able to use this Boot Safe program, but for now let's use this. Let's just start it up, and I'm going to pick safe mode with networking, because I'm going to do some updates while I'm in safe mode. If the programs were updated already, you could just use minimal safe mode, but let's just do it with networking. Reboot. Yes. Now, normally, to get into safe mode, you'd wait till the system's rebooting. When the screen's black, just start tapping the F8 key repeatedly, and it'll bring up a menu of options of how to boot into Windows. One of those would be safe mode and safe mode with networking. And in those, you just pick whichever one you wanted, and it would bring in to screen like this. And in safe mode, it's a minimal amount of drivers being loaded, just kind of a minimum Windows installation. Once we're here, let's open up the toolkit again. And in the general scheme of things, what we're going to be doing first is we're going to be cleaning out temporary files that might have malware there in your temporary files. But also, what I want to do is I want to shut off. Also, let's go here to the control panel and the system. And I want to shut off System Restore on all drive. Check that box, apply it, and that gets rid of any restore points that might have malware. Let's click yes. Okay. And get out. That's the first step. Now, we want to start cleaning out those temporary files. And I use two programs, CCleaner and Cleanup. Let's just run them. Run the cleaner, and it found 34.8 megabytes of temporary files. That's good. Out of it. Next step, I run the cleanup. This is a little bit more aggressive, and it'll find programs that CCleaner might have missed. Want to make sure in options, want to make sure it's set up to standard cleanup. That's what I use. You might, if you don't mind getting rid of your bookmarks and things like that, go ahead and get a higher one, but standard cleanup's great. Anyway, let's run cleanup. And it found another 7.1 megabytes. And when you exit out, it might give you a choice of logging off so it can get rid of a couple of files that were in use. Let's go ahead and just say yes. And it'll log off, and you need to log back on. All right, here we are back. Open up the toolkit again. Now, we've cleaned out the temporary files and we're ready to get down to the nitty-gritty here. And the first program we're going to use here, or number 4, is Super Anti-Spyware. And the one little quirk about this, when you start it up, it doesn't really put anything up here on the screen. It's a little bug icon down here in the tray area. So what you need to do is right-click on it, go up to the top here where it says Scan for Spyware. Click on that. Once you're at the main screen, the first thing you want to do is check for updates. They come out daily in most cases, and you just want to make sure all the definitions of spyware are updated. So we'll check for it, and it downloads any newer definition. And this is one of the reasons we went into safe mode with networking, so that we can hook up to the internet and do the update of these programs that need it. And it updated the program. All right, once you're back there, now it's time to scan the computer. And in this case, we'll go ahead and we'll just scan just the C drive. Do a complete scan. Click next. The program starts and it'll do its thing. Now this is depending on how much data and how much you've got installed on your system. This can take quite a while. I mean, it can take anywhere from 15 minutes to an hour and a half. So if you got something else you need to do, go do a few chores. Just check back now and again just to make sure that you don't need to click on a go ahead button or anything, and just let it do its thing. Now what I'm going to do is pause the recording right now, and we'll come back after it's finished the scan. And I'm back. It's finished the scan. Comes up with a summary of what it found. It looks like it found 11 files, 6 registry items, with a total threats detected of 17. We'll click this, and it'll show you what it actually found, what the names of the different threats. There'll be check marks already in the boxes. Let's go ahead and hit next, and it will quarantine all the problems it finds. Now at this point it says we need to reboot to complete the removal, because some of the programs might be, some of the separate files might be open, so need to reboot so that it will be able to delete those or quarantine them. So we're going to pick yes. Now at this time when it reboots, you can either, while it's rebooting, just keep tapping the F8 key to get to a safe mode window, or you could just go ahead and let it reboot back into normal Windows and then use the safe boot program to get back to safe mode. Either way, this time I'm going to try to see if I can get my timing right and hit that F8 key. I got my finger poised over the F8 key. I'll hit yes, and once this Windows screen disappears and it goes black, or I'll start tapping that F8 key. There we go. Now, it'd probably take longer on your system because it goes through a lot heavier startup routine, I'm sure, checking out your hard drives and all this. I'm using a virtual machine, so it's pretty fast. But the object is, you want to get back to this screen with the F8 key. Now, use an arrow key. You just go up here, and we want safe mode with networking. Hit enter. Pick your installation of Windows, XP, I suppose. Although Vista, you can use the toolkit. Anyway, we're back here to safe mode. We need to, if you need to log in again, go ahead and click yes, and we're ready to open up the toolkit again. All right, the next program to use is Malwarebytes, anti-malware program. And what this is going to do is hopefully find anything that Super Anti-Spyware missed. They're both excellent programs, but seems like they will find stuff the other one doesn't. Again, once the program's open, the first thing we want to do is check for updates. So click the Update tab and check for updates. And again, it went from 1952 up to 1987. Evidently, there's been a bunch of updates since I last used this program. So now we're ready to go. Click back on the scanner, and if it's the first time you've used it, go ahead and perform a full scan. Select that, and let's let it do its thing. I'm just going to do the C drive, and we start it. Again, to save time on this video, I'm going to pause it until the scan is complete. And we're back. Scan's done. Let's go ahead and click OK. Found 12 more infections. Again, like I say, this will find stuff that the other program missed. And let's show results. Screen comes up, will show all the stuff this one found. And again, the boxes are checked. And let's go ahead and remove it. Remove selected. And it'll also open a notepad showing the results of what it found when it ran the scan. You can print that out or keep it or close it out. All right. Notifies you the log file was saved. And again, we need to restart, so let's go ahead and hit yes. Start tapping that F8 key, just in case. Tap, tap, tap. Here we are. And let's get back into safe mode with networking. Again, open up the toolkit again. Next step, next program, we're going to run a Spybot search and destroy. And once it's loaded, again, the first thing we do is we're going to search for updates. And if it finds it, it'll give you a choice of where you can download the update. And since I'm in the States, I'll just pick this one for USA. Click continue. It automatically checks the rules and detections and all the downloads, and it'll do its thing. After you click the download button, puts a little green check mark up here as it installs them. And when it finishes, go ahead and click the exit button. And we're ready to go and check for problem. Again, this is one of those programs that take a while. It's finished its scan, and sure enough, it found a couple more pieces of malware in there. So we go to the top here and just click on Fix Selected Problems. And we're finished with the spyware part. Now let's just do a quick cleanup with the cleanup utility. And it got rid of some extra files that have been put on there while we were doing our removal of malware. Exit out, and again, let's log off and back on. The last program I want to run is a registry repair, just in case there's some orphaned entries in the registry, and just kind of to clean that out. So I use a GlarySoft registry repair. It's not as aggressive as some, but I don't want it real aggressive. I get rid of the obvious problems. So you can just click on scan, and it'll run through your complete registry looking for any problem. Found 35 of them, so I'm going to go ahead and just click repair. And we close it out. And the last step is just to boot back into normal Windows. At this point, your computer should be virus-free, and we'll just start here, just normal mode, reboot, or you could just use the start button down in the lower left and boot back that way. See you on the other side. Thanks.